Two. Hey, everybody, welcome to a new edition of Box Seats. Today is Monday. Actually, today's Tuesday. Today's
Not
Tuesday.
Monday.
Yeah, I'm off that. Today's Tuesday. Sitting in for talent is Mr. Comedian Extraordinaire Rodney Perry. Rodney, thank you for joining the show. Also, Comedian Fig out of New York City. You guys, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate you. After this weekend, I guess the biggest question is, to start out this morning, when I woke up this morning, was who's the most dominant team in the NBA right now? Who would you say, after looking at the NBA games over the past weekend, you saw the Lakers play, you saw the Miami series, you saw the Celtics series, you saw the Denver series with the Clippers and everything else. Rodney Perry, who's the most dominant team right now that you say coming into the NBA playoffs starting today?
I mean, this is the crazy part. People that's supposed to be dominant just ain't dominant. I'm telling y'all, I blame it on the bubble. But to answer your question, the most dominant team in the NBA right now, to me, is the Los Angeles Lakers, man. They can go small, they can go big, they can shoot the ball, they can dunk on you. They got 7-footers, they got little dudes. They just, and Rondo is coming into his own, man. I'm really impressed with these guys.
Right. Me too. Fig, what about you? Who do you think's the most dominant team?
Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm going with the Clippers, man. I'm going with the Clippers because I don't care what happened. I don't care who do what. Everybody looks good when they playing against JV. You understand? Everybody look good when they playing against Junior Boston.
Wait a minute.
So I don't care what goes on.
Who the JV? Denver?
Yeah. Who you saying JV? Denver's JV?
No, man, listen. We talk about LeBron James and Anthony Davis going up against Russell. I can't hit the broadside of a barn, Westbrook, when he's shooting from 3, and they got James Harden. I mean, you got a bunch of toddlers running around the court up against AD and LeBron James.
Fig. I'm sorry for stopping your take. Are you losing your mind? Are you look how scrappy Denver looked against the Clippers?
Yeah.
Listen, Denver looked really good. You understand, until the Clippers decide to play. The Clippers be going through the motion, and then listen, the way veteran team, I keep trying to tell everybody, is way a veteran team play is they play at the end of each quarter. You know what I mean? So when the half was about to end, they went on a run. Then they went through the third quarter, and they played, they got to the fourth quarter, they played a little more. When the fourth quarter was about to end, the Clippers went on a run, and they won the game. So here's the thing. I don't care who you now, I really like Denver. That don't get me wrong. I really like Denver. The only thing is that they not ready yet. If they able to keep their nucleus together next year, Denver gonna be something to reckon with. And also Dallas gonna be something to reckon with next year. But for right now, Clippers got a starting 5 on the bench. And until you can fight that, you ain't got no way. I don't care. You can bring in all the Rondos, the Kuzmas, the Contavious, Caldwell, Olivia Pope. You can bring. Don't do that.
They
got the matchup, the Montrezl Harrell, Sweet Lou. I need to go down to the strip club to get me some Wings Williams. They got to meet Green, Kawhi Leonard. It's just too many. It's too many people. They throwing a barrage of veterans at you, and they dogs.
So you're saying the
Clippers? They old dogs.
Wait, Fig, hold up, Frank. Let me jump. Fig, you telling me that you taking the Clippers to win it all?
Yes, sir.
They might not get past Denver. Denver looking scrappy against them dudes, man.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard blocked a dunk with one finger. I'm taking the Clippers.
That don't mean they win the championship. That don't mean they win the championship.
What'd you say?
That don't mean they win the championship, bro. That was one game. All right, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
You way ahead of yourself because you're wearing that Boston hat and you're jaded.
Listen, I told you from the beginning, I think the Clippers are winning the whole thing. I told you that. I said this on this show. I think the Clippers are winning the whole thing. But now my thing is a little shaky. All right, but the other big story over the weekend was Miami took the Milwaukee Bucks to the brink. Before we start jumping into, obviously, all the games, each individual series, were you guys surprised that even happened? Rodney Perry, what's your take on that?
I mean, when your big man go down with the ankle injury, I mean, if you're able to scrap out a win, that speaks to your character, and they show some character, some intestinal fortitude, you know. But at the same time, it's over. Yeah, I wasn't surprised they scrapped out a win. But the heat then came, man, and I'm telling y'all that bubble. I blame the bubble. The bubble, how people like shining, cats that wouldn't normally shine, and the Heat, they feel like that they've been the underdog and they fighting with that underdog spirit. They backed in the corner and they gonna try to close out.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's over? You saying it's over?
Oh, this is the last game. Milwaukee gonna go home and drink some beer.
Okay, all right. Faye, what you think?
Genuine Brewing Company in Milwaukee is what's.
Tonight is kind
Let me tell you something, man. And you know what it is? Let me explain something to you about Heat. Miami Heat. Let me explain something to you about Heat.
Go ahead. Go with that.
Heat sneak up on you when you least expect it. Now, most people don't. If you never cooked a lobster, you don't know how it's done. Let me tell you how you cook a lobster. You get a pot of cold water, and you put the lobster down in the cold water, and the lobster get comfortable, and you put the top on it, and you turn the fire on. And the water gets warmer and warmer and warmer. And by the time the water starts to boil and the lobster realizes he in hot water, it's too late for him to jump out. That's called the Miami Heat. Now, another reason why the Miami Heat is beating up on the Milwaukee Bucks is that they head player, they honcho, they big dog is Django. That's who it is. It's Django. That's who Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy Butler is Django. And he's coming in there and he tearing up.
Wait, who is he?
Django.
That's terrible.
Tell me Jimmy Butler don't look like Django. If you put a cowboy hat on Jimmy right now, put him on a horse, he looked just like Jamie Foxx in Django.
He looked like one of Jamie Foxx's kids.
He does.
I say he looked like Jamie Foxx playing that cello, but that's a better one.
Yeah, all right, here's the question for you. People in sports talk radio, on the radio, people are saying that if there's any team that can come back from a 3-0 deficit, it's the Milwaukee Bucks.
I'm gonna say it like this: if Kutumpo, if he can get back on the field, how you say his name?
Kumpo.
Yeah,
Dupo. If Dupo can get back out there, they got a shot. If he do not get back out there, they go home. Period. And they've been keeping it because he injured his ankle before and he couldn't even walk on it, and he was able to wear a boot. So there's some speculation we get a lot of treatment, and they're saying that he might be able to play tonight, and he has not been ruled out. So it could be if he come out there, it could get crazy for them Heat, and don't nobody want to cool the Heat off.
Ain't that true? What about you, Vic? What you think?
Man, listen. Jimmy Butler has a push broom on the front of his lip, on his top lip, and it's the bristles from a push broom. That thing is sticking out. It's all bushy and stuff. That's the one where you get out there when you want to push the water from the end of a heavy rain. That's what he got on the top lip. Now, here's the thing. They would have swept him if it wasn't for Giannis going down, and they had a letdown, and Milwaukee snuck up on him. Mm-hmm. When Giannis went down, the team automatically have a letdown because the biggest star is out of the game. So right. Miami, they had a little bit of a letdown, and they sort of overlooked Milwaukee being able to do what they do. But they're not going to overlook them tonight. And I see Milwaukee going home to have a nice cold one and enjoy a little time with the family during the cold.
Mr. Frank, hold on. You know the funny part they were talking about is that since you're in the bubble, it ain't like a regular loss. You got to go back to your room and pack.
Right.
You got to go back to your room and pick your stuff up with that sad look. And grab my shoes, baby.
Hey Rodney, that's like when you get a deal and they fly you out to LA and they put you in a limo and you go have a meeting and the meeting don't go well, and then you got to take Uber back to your hotel room. When you get back to the hotel room, you already checked out, and you better hurry up and catch that flight, or you gonna have to pay for another one going back to where you came from.
You all right, Fig? You want to talk about it?
I drove home.
That was a real specific analogy,
right? too specific. Here's a real question for y'all, especially all the Milwaukee Bucks fans. I'm sure they're sitting there worried. If Milwaukee loses, chances are people are talking that Giannis is out. He's gone. You know what I mean? And no, people are saying, that they don't know where he's going to do, what he's going to do. I'm one of the people who think that if they lose, tonight and everything else, and that series is over, I think he's gone. What you think, Rodney?
I mean, that's the talk. I think the guy, and I don't know him, but I think the guy is the type of competitor, the way the season kind of unfolded, him getting hurt, I think he may stay one more year because he can stay another year without doing a big deal. Mm-hmm. I think he might stay one more year in Milwaukee, out of some sort of loyalty to this team. He may stay because he African. He the Greek freak, so he might have some loyalty we don't know about in America. And he may stay. But if he have the wherewithal to go out to Portland, if he go to Portland, that's gonna make everybody stand up.
Well, I mean, listen, there's a lot of teams right now that they turn into immediate NBA championships. You know what I mean? But the team I don't want him to go to is Golden State. That's what I don't want him to do.
You a hater, that's why. Because if you go to Golden State, they gonna put their foot up Boston's behind, and you got hopes. And now listen, I bet you one thing. I bet you wouldn't mind him showing up in a green uniform in Boston. I mean, it ain't that much. That might be Milwaukee.
I mean, but
you talking from that's coming from a Knicks fan right there. That's a Knicks fan. So
because I know he ain't coming to New York.
I know where he's not going.
Yeah,
he ain't coming to New York.
Yeah, he ain't going to New York. And yes,
but go read.
Yeah. So
he heard about what happened to Melo out there.
That's right. So Fig, what you think he's gonna do? You think he's gonna stay or you think he's gonna go?
The thing is that I heard Giannis, unless he changed his mind, the last thing I heard come out of his mouth is that he wants to win a championship in Milwaukee. Here's the problem. Are they going to get anybody in Milwaukee to come and play alongside? Listen, I hate to say that though, because I think Chris Middleton is a baller.
Yeah, they got everything now. They can win now.
I think what they actually need is, and I hate to say this about Coach Bud, I think the way they playing is wrong. I don't think you're taking full advantage of your team by letting Giannis bring up the ball. And I mean, it works during the regular season, which is granted. I mean, they got the best record in the NBA. So clearly it's working during the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs and teams can lock down on you and they be able to build that wall around Giannis, he can't break that wall all by himself. What he needs to do, like most big men, is get his behind in the post and kick it out to his shooters. He got some shooters. You can't guard Giannis one-on-one in the post, and if you double him, then that means you got shooters out there that can take an open shot. Chris Middleton can hit they got a bunch of players that can hit open shots if Giannis is able to kick the ball out of the paint.
Problem is, if you play a team more than one time, people can change things up on you. And Milwaukee's head coach seems to not have figured that part out yet. That's the problem. Seems like
he doesn't adjust.
I mean, that's a great point, Fig, man. And I was talking to the young boys about that. We played Madden, and they was like, Rod, that's an old way of thinking. They told me, I said the same thing you said. And they said, that's an old way of thinking. He said, this is a new NBA, and it's wide open, and the cats is shooting. So, maybe that's what coach is thinking. Like, it's just a new way of playing. We grown.
Put
that big fella in the post.
Right.
Bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, but the NBA has changed in fact where it's a shooters league now. People shoot. You can win a championship from shooting. Golden State proved that. Speaking of shooting, let's talk about the Lakers now. The Lakers played against over the weekend, and we saw what happened with that. Like they looked really dominant in game 2. They didn't look dominant at all in game 1. What was your immediate thoughts after you finished watching the Lakers play Houston after the first game? Rodney, not the second, after the first game, Rodney. What was your thought?
I mean, LeBron said it best. He said them guys was playing faster than us. And you know, I think and Fig said this on the broadcast, that you know, having had that rest, that 6-day rest, you know, it's either gonna play in your favor or not. I think it's gonna benefit the Lakers in the long run of the series, but after that first game, I knew they would come back and make adjustments because that's what they do.
Right. Fig, after the second game where the Lakers made the adjustments, and I mean, you and I talked a little bit about this last night off the air. After the second game, after the Lakers made the adjustments, were you surprised at the adjustments that they made, or you know, it just was like, hey, you know, Houston just horrible. You know what I mean? Because honestly, I think, like you and I both discussed this, Russell Westbrook lost him that game last night. I think, you know, it was his shot selection, not slashing to the basket, not doing the things that Russell Westbrook is really good at doing. They were in the game until certain things happened. But anyway, I don't want to take up. You know, what's your thought?
He is who we thought he was. Russell Westbrook is who we thought he was. This is why KD left. This is why KD had to get out of there. And the Oklahoma City Thunder front office made the wrong decision when they decided to get rid of James Harden, when they let KD go and they kept Russell Westbrook. That was the problem. Russell Westbrook is a beast. He's a dog. But here's the problem. He's out of control. He hasn't been trained. Ain't no coach that can train this wild dog. He plays like a wild dog. He's losing the ball with turnovers. He's shooting three-pointers, and he's not a three-point shooter. His best attribute is to go to the paint, put pressure on the defense, drive to the hole, and possibly kick to an open shooter or take it in for a layup and get fouled and go to the foul line. He's a decent foul line shooter. He can't shoot three-pointers, and he's not right now. He's not at the age where he could go 1-on-3. And that's what he tries to do. He tries to dominate going 1-on-3. He tries to break down double teams. Listen, Russell, drive and kick. You got a bunch of shooters around you. These guys are three-point marksmen. The whole team, the whole Houston team is a bunch of three-point shooters. All Russell Westbrook got to do is drive in, bring the defense in to stop him, kick it out. Houston wins.
Right. Houston got a chance.
Fig, shut your mouth. Shut your pie hole. I'm sick of you besmirching the name of the Houston. First of all, I don't give a damn about Houston. Okay? But they good. Okay? They are very good. They got, like you said, they got shooters. Now, Westbrook, he have some issues from time to time, but he took some quality shots. He just missed. People have off nights. Westbrook had off night, and you got to give Lakers the credit for blitzing him. They blitzed him. He ain't never seen that. That caused probably 4 turnovers right there. So the scheme of the defense is what played against him the other night, you know, and you got to get a Lakers credit. It's more Lakers than it is Westbrook had a horrible game because he killed them in game 1. And the adjustment just affected him more than anybody. You got to neutralize one of them. If you can neutralize one of them and get them to shooting, then you can win the game. And that's what happened with the Lakers.
So
this game,
but they killed him.
This next game 3 is gonna tell who they are.
I'm gonna tell you this: the way they killed him. Hold on. Shooting 3-pointers.
Do you think Houston has a chance, Rodney Perry?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they got a chance. They ain't gonna win, but they damn sure got a chance. Cause, like Fig said, they got shooters. They got 2 superstars. You cannot. I mean, you talk about Westbrook like he's not a superstar. He's still a superstar, and so is Harden. So as long as you got them 2 superstars, you can win the game.
All right. Okay, let's switch gears. Friday morning, we were talking about the Toronto and the Celtics series. It kind of looked like it was over. Toronto, since then, since all weekend, since here we are now, Toronto even the series, and now they ended up getting smoked last night. Does Toronto have a chance, Fig, or what's it look like?
You know, I hate to say that Toronto doesn't have a chance because, you know, they got shooters and they got a combination of shooters and big men. Here's the thing. It depends on when you put the big men in the game. I would not put Marc Gasol in the game to start. I'd let Marc Gasol get some rest come off the. I give him a little less time to play in the first half, and then I play him more in the first quarter, and I make Marc Gasol take over and destroy them smaller players on the Celtics. Now he can't guard them. He can clog up.
You go smaller to start the game?
Yeah, I would go smaller to start the game, and then I would go bigger at the end when everybody is tired. Because now Marc Gasol has he's a veteran, he's savvy, he's big, and he could shoot a mid-range, and he can shoot in the paint. But if you got him running up and down with them young horses of Boston, you can tire him out, and he's not effective at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So what I would do, I would rest Gasol, play him a little bit in the first half, maybe the second quarter, and then give him the bulk of his minutes in the fourth quarter. And I put a lot of pressure on the Celtics to stop Marc Gasol in the paint. Now, you know Marc Gasol is also a good passer. He's a great passer for a big man. If you clog the paint and try and stop him, he can always kick it out to a Kyle Lowry or Van Vliet.
Yeah.
They got some shooters out there. That's what I would do. I know this is a new school where everybody wants to shoot 3-pointers and stuff like that, but the game is still fundamentals. It's still an old school game. You go to your matchups. Marc Gasol is a bad matchup for the Celtics because they ain't got no real defenders that can stop them. So use that to your advantage. It's just stupid to me that you don't use what you have to your advantage.
That's an interesting point.
The Lakers did good when Anthony Davis. Do you notice that when they made their adjustments, they took out McGee and they don't let Dwight Howard get no play, but they put Anthony Davis and they made him play in the paint.
Yeah.
Well, that's where he's dominating in the paint because he's bigger, he's agile, he can move, and he can shoot.
Yeah, but
you play to your strength.
Well, to be fair, Anthony Davis then switched to the 5, so that's what made the Lakers change up their whole thing. That's what they switched up to the 5. So that's different. But it's a different analogy that you're saying right now. But you're just saying he's still the 5 and he'd come in a little bit later, which makes some sense because you obviously could do that and tire him out. But the problem is Toronto's problem is they're missing shots. If they were hitting some shots, they wouldn't even be in this boat. It's not a play to me. To be fair. And to be neutral, it's not the fact that Gasol comes in before or after. It's just that Toronto shot horribly during the series. When the series is over,
they take a contested shots. There's a difference between a contested shot and an open shot.
Contested or not. Now, all of them being contested like the way they should be. But at the end of the day, I will say this. At the end of the day, if Toronto had hit half those shots last night, they probably would have. The game would have been a lot closer. What you think, Rodney?
And if I would have drunk all this bottle, I'd be drunk looking. Look,
right.
Come on. First of all, let me get the Boston foot out of Toronto's ass. They had foot to the ass. They wanted to make shots and they just didn't. Let me tell y'all something. I don't even like Boston. But let's look at the box score. Michael Bivens, 15 assists. 22 points.
What did Johnny get?
Ronnie DeVoe had 35 rebounds. Let's look at the box score. I told y'all what Boston need. New addition to play. And they went and got NE4 Life on the court. Johnny Gill had 35 points. Let's show some love, man. Boston came to play.
Hold up.
They did their thing. Them boys are scrappy. But I agree with Fig. If I don't know if I would take Marc Gasol all the way after the rotation, I would probably, like you say, stall him out maybe the first 15 minutes of the game, put him in that type of rotation. But they need to change something or they're gonna get run off the court.
And let me tell you why you have the luxury of doing that, because you got Pascal Siakam and you got Serge Ibaka that can play. They can still run. Marc Gasol ain't got that in him. And listen, chasing down one of them dogs that they got in Boston. You know Boston got them a dog too. Is Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart is Sonic the Hedgehog. Did you see the boy? He's Sonic the Hedgehog. If you look at his hair, Marcus Smart is Sonic the Hedgehog, and he's running up and down the court with all that energy, and
he got LeBron old
Toronto out.
He got all of the hair LeBron used to have right there.
Yeah. That's LeBron's fallout.
All right, y'all. We got to talk about the NFL now because now, believe it or not, which is really shocking, the NFL season starts in 2 days. Okay, being an
Ridiculous.
NFL, it starts, and it came up on you real quick. Here's the thing that's pressing on my mind this morning: being that the NFL season starting in 2 days, we're kicking off the NFL season in Kansas City at an Arrowhead Stadium. They are going to have 16,000 fans in Arrowhead Stadium.
The Corona Bowl.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be called. Now, is the NFL making a mistake by allowing so many people doing that? Rodney Perry, what you think?
The NFL don't give a damn. Okay,
Yeah.
The NFL they don't. You could walk in sneezing. Okay, they try to get that paper. They feel like they already took a loss. They had no preseason games. That's why the season just snuck up on us, and we haven't seen none of that. Man, I think the NFL and the owners or the governors or whatever we call them are like, go get my money. And so they're not gonna have empty seats. I mean, they can't do like in the NBA. They can't do like baseball. So they got to put somebody in those seats. I think they're taking some measures, temperature gauges and stuff like that on the walk-in. But I mean, from a guy that's had corona, you can be asymptomatic and still come to that game and make people sick. So I hope.
What happened? Oh,
Good.
he back.
Can't hear him.
Oh, but they called me. I'm back.
Got you.
I'm back.
Yeah.
No. So what I was saying is that ultimately that these guys I just think the owners don't care, man. And to answer your question, man, I think it might be a problem, dude, in the long run.
Yeah, I think so too. What you think, Fig?
MOL. Money over life.
Wow.
That's what the NFL is doing. Money over life. 16,000 people in the stands. Are you crazy? Listen, here's the thing. Every major city that has let people gather in large groups, the virus numbers shot up.
Right.
So this is what you're going to do in the NFL. Here's the thing. This is how you determine who is going to lead the country and who is going to get left behind. The NBA has the people with the minds to be able to lead the country forward safely, and the NFL, for lack of a better term, is dropping the ball.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the games now. Is the NFL season going to be different without that many fans? Because not all the stadiums are going to let fans in the stadium. But look at Seattle. Seattle has a 12th man. They're not going to have a lot of people. Actually, I don't think they're going to have any people in the stands. And I was listening to a lot of sports talk this morning, and a lot of people are saying that, not having fans in the stadium will affect a lot of teams like Seattle and when Kansas City, if you go and play in Kansas City, even though it's 16,000 people, they're saying it's going to sound like a pin drop. It's going to,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, but a lot of teams supposedly are able to get, that momentum from being able to hear the fans, there. Then again, there's not a lot of false starts won't be happening. A lot of things that you normally would do in the NFL because of the NBA, in one sense, where it's going to be like you're playing on an even field. Is that better or worse? What you think for the NFL, Rodney? What you think?
I think it's worse. I think it's taking the element out of the game. Even with the NBA, it's an element out of the game without people there. People are very important to the game. And with football, like I play fantasy football every year, I'm not going to play this year.
Wow.
I'm not going to play. And so I think there's a ripple effect to what we're seeing. I mean, the reality is we're in a pandemic, man, and we got to respect that. And we've already lost 180,000 people, and we don't want to lose more because we want to be entertained.
Right, I agree. What you think, Vic?
Man, I think you're gonna lose the energy element. But listen, all of these guys didn't just show up at the NFL level and start playing. All these guys played when they were kids. When we were kids, we played for the love of the game. The love of the game made you play at a certain level. You know what I mean? So if you still love the game, for the players, they still gonna play at a high level. Now, what the fans and the crowd did, it made it difficult for the opposing team to hear maybe their calls or their signals, or maybe guys got rattled, jumped off sides or something like that. But for the actual nucleus of the game, I think the players gonna play how they play, and the skill level of these players is gonna be at a high level. Now, here's the thing that I think that we're gonna miss for the first couple of games. We're gonna see some sloppy football because there ain't been no preseason, and it ain't been a whole lot of stuff going on. So I don't care what you say; these guys haven't played since last season. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that it may be a little rough for maybe the first week or so, first couple weeks, until these guys get their football legs up under them again.
Right.
So
Right.
Well, hold on, Fig.
What?
Me and you played for the love of the game. These professionals, you know,
that's true.
Hey, this. If I was playing the NFL with no fans, it wouldn't be the first time I played for nobody.
Right.
We're talking about guys that's been playing for packed crowds their whole life, from Pee Wee on up. We're talking about the most elite players in the world, and that's it's got to affect them to look up in the stands. You remember when your daddy didn't show up to the game? That hurt. Imagine.
My dad didn't show up to none of my games, Rodney.
Don't make me cry. Anyway, you look up in the stands, your daddy wasn't up there. Imagine nobody up there. Telling you, man, it's gonna affect the whole game. I don't know. If I want to see people, I'm gonna watch it on Madden.
Hey, listen, let me tell you this. My dad didn't show up, my mom didn't show up. But if there was a kid on the other team and their parents was in the stand, I'd try and take his head off. The damn you have family and fans while I don't have none. I'm gonna injure you and let your parents run on the field and jump me.
That says a lot on why you ain't playing professional sports right now. That says a lot. Okay, let me ask you this. Because there's no fans in the stand, I expect to see a lot of false starts. I expect to see a lot of mistakes, like what Fig said. Because there's no fans, the fans affect the game a lot more in football than they do in any other sport. You know what I mean? Because obviously, if the quarterback and if everybody can hear the quarterback, the defense can get an extra jump, the offense can hear an extra jump. I think it's going to be better in some ways and worse in some ways. But let's jump into my next topic. Speaking of football, Lamar Jackson, do you all expect him to be MVP this year?
I can't see it.
I can't see it either. Let me look out to the future.
All right, look into the future.
I'm looking out into the future, and I'm telling y'all right now, Lamar Jackson will be the MVP, and he gonna get money. Dak Prescott gonna get money, and my brother in Houston gonna get money.
Your brother in Houston got money. He got paid this weekend.
Hold on.
Houston paid him.
He sure did. I thought I saw something.
Yeah, he got paid. Deshaun got 4 years, $177 million. Word is out of Dallas is that Dak Prescott's kind of upset about that he got his money and it affect him. Rodney, what do you think about that? Is that effective?
If I'm Dak, I'm pissed.
Why?
If I'm Dak, I'm pissed. We've been talking about Dak money for 6 months.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Jerry Jones is a good owner, and he's always, reached back and got players, that maybe was beyond their time. But dude, the way he treating Dak, they just don't believe in this kid, man. And it's sad for a guy at the helm of your team, and you jerking him around this long. It's disrespectful, Jerry Jones.
It's even sadder because it's in Houston and right up the street is in Dallas, and Dallas ain't paying Dak Prescott. What you think, Fig?
Hey man, listen, Deshaun hadn't done anything. Him and Dak Prescott is on par with pretty much the same kind of accolades, the same kind of record. You know everything. They like hand in hand, except here's the thing.
No, I don't know about
that.
They
believe it. They believe in him. They believe it. Wait, Deshaun ain't do that much better than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott won the division.
But Deshaun, the Houston ain't as top heavy as Dallas. I mean, you got a great.
Who told Jerry to give everybody the money except for the quarterback?
He ain't talk about that. He ain't talk about that. So what you're saying is you would take Dak Prescott over Deshaun Watson? That's what you're saying, Vic?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they play the team's record with Dallas record with Dak Prescott as the quarterback and Houston record with Deshaun as the quarterback is pretty much equal from year to year. But Deshaun got paid and Dak did. And then they just took away Deshaun's top receiver. So what are he gonna do?
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Vic,
what are you gonna do?
That's what you're saying. Robbie, what you think?
I mean, I think Deshaun gonna have a good season regardless. I mean, the guy got so many skills. You know, he's mobile. He throws a good long ball. He throws a decent short ball. I think the guy's gonna have a good year. I think Dak needs to have a great year to prove the naysayers wrong. You know, but this is left field. This don't have nothing to do with nothing. If Jameis Winston get on the field in New Orleans, he will have a career year. Write it down. Rodney Perry said it.
Okay.
If Jameis Winston, if something happened, and heaven forbid, we want to happen to Drew Brees, but he is old. If something happened in New Orleans, well, Jameis Winston is the backup because I don't know if you noticed or not, Frank, but on the offseason, Jameis Winston got LASIK surgery. Jameis Winston got LASIK surgery. Guess what he can do now?
You can see. Yeah.
Hey, he was already passed for 5,000 yards. He was just throwing a lot of picks. So what happened when you go, oh, that dude is wearing a different jersey now?
Yeah. You know what, man? It scared me when I saw that he threw for 5,000 yards. I was wondering was some of them yards to the other team.
Yeah, they were.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
But let me tell you this: if I was Deshaun, I'd be kind of pissed that you got rid of my top receiver. How you get rid of D-Hop? You don't get rid. Listen, you don't get rid of D-Hop. You get rid of I-Hop, not D-Hop. You understand what I'm saying? If you get rid of I-Hop,
but you can't
get rid of D-Hop.
The thing about these players, you can't keep them past where they worth something. So you still got to be able to get something back from.
What they get? They ain't getting nothing for D-Hop. What they get for D-Hop?
I don't know what they get.
A couple of trade, a couple of draft picks. Here's the funny thing. That
could be a game changer though.
Yeah, he just signed as of this morning. He just signed an extension with the Cardinals, so he's never coming back. But speaking of signings, Jadeveon Clowney, he signed over the weekend too. Since we were on the air, we were talking about him being signed as of this morning. Over the weekend, he signed, and he signed with. Let me see where it says right here. He signed with the Titans. The Titans, right? Yeah, we signed with Tennessee Titans. Does that make Tennessee Titans now? Because you know what they got on offense, and you know their weakness was defense. Does that make them now Super Bowl contender that nobody's talking about out of the AFC? What you think, Rodney?
Tennessee gonna lose because they just losers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I ain't got no analytical. Some teams just ain't built to win. And the city, it's the city.
Okay.
You know, let me tell y'all, you watching me? Some of y'all cities, why Houston in the NBA never win? Because the city don't believe in them. The city has to believe you. I'm telling you, I've been to Houston during the playoffs. You didn't even know basketball was being played. And so Tennessee the same way. They like Dolly Parton more than they like that team. Telling you.
I can believe that. What'd you think, Fig?
Hey man, listen. I think they was making some noise last year, man. They jumped up and scared the crap out of a few teams, man. They was right there, man. They was like a couple movements away from actually winning the whole thing, man.
They're a spoiler.
They beat the crap out of Baltimore. Mm-hmm. They shot Baltimore. Baltimore was not ready. They got punched Baltimore in the mouth. With a defense with Jadeveon Clowney. Man, listen, I don't even know. I'm like, yo, They got some dough.
But what you don't know is Clowney gonna play the whole season.
Oh, he not?
I mean, he get hurt every year. He get hurt every year.
Clowney play the whole season.
So you saying that Clowney is clowning them?
Clowney gonna show up with a McDonald's face on.
All right, here's another thing. Out of Chicago, right? Chicago decided they're going to have, over the weekend, they decided that Mitch Trubisky is going to get the starting job over Nick Foles. Now, Rodney, I know you know a little bit about the Bears.
I'm a Bear fan.
Yeah. What's your thought on that?
First of all, I play John Madden football, and I hate Mitch Trubisky. He can't throw the damn ball more than 5 or 6 yards. It's terrible. So what was the thought process? What's the talk coming out of Chicago? Like, why'd they do that? I mean, this is the thing. Matt Nagy, I mean, they had a little quarterback battle in preseason. Mm-hmm. I think the team is comfortable with Mitch. Mitch could have a breakout season. I don't see it. If he does, I will love it. But it's good to have a guy like Nick Foles that's comfortable coming off the bench, that's comfortable winning games when people don't believe in him. So that gives us a sense of like a security blanket. So I saw this happening. I knew they wouldn't make no big change. You know what I mean? Now the big problem is protecting the guy. You got to protect the guy. No quarterback is good when they're on the ground. So the biggest problem with Chicago over the last decade is they don't protect the quarterback. And so you got to protect the guy and you got to run the ball. Yeah. You got to run the ball. You can't pass fucking 30 times a game. You got to run the ball. So, I mean, I would like to see my guys have a great season, but ain't no guarantees, man. I'll just say this. I'll say this before I throw it to Fig. I'll say this. I don't understand why Nick Foles didn't start because he won a Super Bowl. To me, that gives you some kind of carte blanche. Like Nick gets no credit for that Super Bowl though. Like that's the problem. Have you ever tripped off of that? He won a Super Bowl. He don't get no credit for it. They still talking about Carson Wentz in Philly, and this man got them a Super Bowl. So some kind of way he's just disrespected in the game. Fig, what's your thought on that? Before we bring
I'm just saying Trubisky is derived from the word tribulation. And that's all Trubisky. That's all Trubisky does. He's full of tribulation. That's Trubisky right there, baby. And let me tell you something else. What Nick is going to do, he's going to come in there and he's going to make Trubisky fold up his game and go home. Okay. I think you might be right. Honestly, I don't think Mitch Trubisky is going to finish out the season. I think Nick Foles is going to be coming in maybe 6 I mean, he's a tough kid, though, Frank. Trubisky is tough. He's tough. I'm telling you. He's not going to get injured. They're not going to just pull him for playing bad. So we'll see. I think they will. Because they know they got – it's one thing if you don't pull somebody because you know you ain't got nothing on the bench. It's another thing if you pull somebody if you know you got somebody who won a Super Bowl sitting on the bench. That's my thought. That's right. And you see, Adrian Peterson went to Detroit. Right. So that I was going to get to that too in a second, but let me talk to my man Stack. Stack, thanks for joining the show. We appreciate you, Stack.
What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Did we make any mistakes, Stack? Hold on, wait, Frank. Why is Stack teeth so gorgeous?
What?
I don't like that his teeth is whiter than all of them.
Dang, man.
I don't like it.
So you don't
got a dinner plan, Rodney.
He got a dinner package.
Wow.
What'd you say, Stack?
Y'all did good. Y'all been doing good today, man. I've been really enjoying it, man. And Fig, it ain't comedian Fig no more. It's Coach Fig. How he broke down the whole Marc Gasol thing. I didn't fully agree though, because AD is way more agile.
But it makes sense. It makes sense.
Gasol can't handle the ball, so we put Daniel Tice on him, and he's cooked. Right. He can't move his feet no more.
I'm not. Listen, you give me Marc Gasol fully rested. Ain't nobody afraid of no Tice.
We're talking about 20. We're talking about 2020 Marc Gasol. We're not talking about 2010 Marc Gasol.
That's why I'm giving him the rest. They come in there in the fourth quarter fully rested. Let me tell you something about a veteran. A veteran can do something to them young boys they ain't seen. he fouled Tice out the game in the fourth quarter.
Fig, you know what you can't do with a veteran? Let him sit all game without moving around.
Especially a 7-footer. Especially a 7-footer.
No.
300
I
pounds.
didn't say all game. I said let him play some minutes in the first half. Just pull his minutes back. Pull the bulk of his minutes back. Way back. And then let him loose.
Way back. Sounds like 4 minutes. Sounds like
so if I'm being honest about Toronto, they bread and butter is transition buckets. They one of the best teams in the league. Gasol actually prohibits that. He slows that.
He can't run with them. That's why I'm saying when the game is on the line, that's what I said. That's why I said you got to rest him for those for the majority of those first 3 quarters. And then give him minutes in the end.
No, Toronto's overachieving and they are done.
They're done, bro.
They're done.
All right.
Go ahead, Stack. Your floor is yours.
Boston defends the 3-point line really well. You know, even that game that they won, that game 4, with they hit the shot with the half a second left, we shot terrible, like terrible.
That was game 3.
That was game 3.
Yeah, game 3. Yeah,
that's right. Game 3. Yeah, we shot terrible. If we would have shot 30% from 3, we would have beat them easily.
I gotta ask you a question, Stacks. Who is we?
Who is we?
I told y'all. It's me, Ronnie, Bobby, Mickey, Ricky, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Roxbury's finest. What you mean? The newest edition. All right.
Did you see?
Listen, new edition is from Roxbury.
You got Michael Bivens with 13 assists.
13 assists, right?
22 points. You got
hey, Rodney.
35 rebounds.
That's right.
You got Rodney DeVoe.
Hey, don't forget Ralph Tresvant either, man. You know, he coming off the bench with the sensitivity and everything, man.
He had his fedora on, too. It was amazing.
Hey, Rodney, listen, new edition may be from Roxbury, but Stacks is from Boonesbury Farms.
Wow.
Where they make the wine. He ain't part of
Boone's Farm?
You're right. I'm actually from Dorchester, but, you know, close enough, bro.
Word up, B.
NFL, you know, honestly, y'all, I mean, I know we got to respect the pandemic, but I mean, I'm going to just be honest. I appreciate the NFL for trying, because not everybody in America really agrees with the whole way we handling the pandemic as far as, you know, keeping people away, you know, especially with these reports coming out saying, what was it? Only 6% of the coronavirus deaths had comorbidities, which means like, all of them deaths, 94% of them was people that had other conditions associated with it. So, I mean, are we really keeping a bunch of healthy people inside, you know, trying to scare folks? You know, this is, I mean, I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, man.
Too late, Stack.
Yeah, I'm about to say too late for that.
There's a balance. I feel like there's a balance we need to strike, and we're not going to really learn that balance unless we try. Like, look at states like Florida.
Stack, go back to the sports, bro. Go back to the sports.
Hey, all I'm saying is I'm happy they're gonna have fans in the stands. I hope it goes well. The Patriots, we're gonna talk about my Patriots real quick. Cam Newton is gonna be the starter, okay? And I know everybody want to count us out, but Tennessee, y'all mentioned Tennessee, don't stand a chance against us, even with Clowney. But I will give them a little bit more credit than y'all was giving them, because they got Mike Vrabel, and he's like a Patriot, you know, for life. You know what I mean? They got a lot of Patriots on that coaching staff and throughout their whole team. I think they did give Baltimore the business. Their defense was legitimate. So you can't really count them guys out. Anybody with a good defense and a good running game, that means they can control the clock and they can control the score. So,
hey, Stack, who has a better season, New England or Tampa Bay?
I think Tampa,
or New England South.
Exactly. I think Tampa Bay will probably have a better record, because I think the AFC East is stronger than the NFC South right now. When you
I disagree.
Okay.
No, I completely disagree.
Okay.
I completely disagree. You know, the reason why is because we all know how good and bad the AFC is. And the NFC, there's a whole lot more tougher teams out there that Tampa Bay got to deal with. Just seeing Seattle twice, seeing the Eagles, seeing the Cowboys, seeing the Giants.
But they don't have to do that. They're in the NFC South. So the teams they play is Atlanta, New Orleans,
Atlanta ain't going to be no slouch.
Atlanta gonna be nice. You're right.
Yeah, but let me just finish. Here's the biggest point. The biggest point is their defense is not matching out their what they're putting together on their offensive side of the ball. You may be able to score, but if you can't stop nobody, what's the point of that? What we had right now. Look at the Patriots, prime example, in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Who has ever put up 500 plus yards in the Super Bowl and lost? Nobody.
I don't think the issue in that game for us was the.
It was the defense. It was the defense.
Okay, you know what? All right, you know
it was the
right.
defense.
I think if Brandon Cooks didn't get clocked that early though, I think that would have changed the whole game. But
see, these dudes right here, they funny. All right, but let me go around the table right now. Let me ask it.
No. Before you go,
hold on,
Frank.
Go ahead, Fig.
Hold on.
No, you hold on.
Frank.
We get ready to start
every time you and Stacks talk about Boston being the Celtics or the Patriots, y'all talking about we. Y'all ain't got a uniform, a jersey, shoulder pad, helmet. Who is we?
Right
Who
here.
is we?
Let me get back to the question. The question is NFL season.
For real, Frank, let me have 2 seconds. First of all, we talk basketball, we talk football. The WNBA is out there playing.
Hey,
and
baseball is too. And the Yankees are putting together the worst season and they've had in years. We ain't even got to that.
And Serena Williams won.
Yeah,
yes, she did.
And Serena Williams won. But let me just ask.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, let me go around the table real fast because we get ready to wrap up the show. Rodney, who's winning the Super Bowl this year? Since the NFL's getting ready to start up right now, who's winning the Super Bowl?
Who wins the Super Bowl? I'm gonna say Tampa Bay.
Woo.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Tampa Bay.
Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Man, listen, you know, I'm going with my homeboy.
Okay.
Back-to-back Super Bowls?
Kansas City, baby.
Okay. All right. Stack, who's winning the Super Bowl?
I'm taking New England for a Super Bowl win, man. I'm taking New England, baby. Hey, I'm taking New England.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Is I'm gonna agree with Stack.
Exactly. I'm taking New England, bro. Cam Newton, this is the revival right here.
I don't know what they got in that water in New England, but you better stop drinking it.
They're gonna surprise a lot of people. People they put together that running team the way they're gonna run the ball, and they're gonna surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
Secondary on fire. The secondary on fire. Watch this.
Yeah,
that will be exciting to see.
Hey, this is what I'm calling. I'm gonna call the Super Bowl for y'all. The Super Bowl is gonna be in Tampa Bay this year.
Yep.
It's gonna be the Patriots versus the Bucks in Tampa. Call it.
And who wins?
If Tom Brady meet Belichick in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady gonna win.
Yo, I'm telling you, gonna lose that one.
He gonna lose that one. He's going against the coach. The greatest mind in the game. The greatest mind in the game. Everybody knows how to beat Brady. They just can't do it. Everybody knows how to beat him. You just can't do it.
I just want to ask y'all a question. Where was either one of these teams last year? Can anybody tell me where they were last year?
They were higher than the Giants.
Yeah, they were.
Wow.
I just want to know where were the Patriots and where were the Bucks?
The Patriots went to the playoffs last season, though. We was in the playoffs last year.
You elevating them to the Super Bowl. I didn't elevate. Listen, here's something you got to know about New York fans. We're realistic about our teams. Ain't nobody putting the Giants and the Jets in the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody saying that the Knicks is going to win the NBA championship because we're realistic about what teams do.
Because the Knicks haven't made the playoffs.
They didn't even make the playoffs, though,
exactly. But we're realistic about it.
We made the playoffs.
Tell me how the Patriots, with losing all of their players and replacing Tom Brady with Cam Newton, how they going to the Super Bowl.
Can you back up to your hair? Hey, back up so we can see, you know, yeah, we
made the playoffs.
Shouts out to Fig Hair. It's looking magnificent once again. Killing the game. He's killing the game.
Listen, Rodney, let me tell you what they really meant. They meant that the Patriots are going to put soup in a bowl. That's what it is. They're going to put soup in a bowl. That's what.
Who you got coming out the AFC, Fig? Who's coming out the AFC, Fig?
It's going to be in a bowl. Sponsored by Campbell's.
He got the Chiefs. He got
the Chiefs. Okay.
So Rodney, how can we find you tomorrow? How can we find you? Stay up on top of everything that you got going on.
You see, what was my finger? You see, hold on, that right there.
Yeah.
Rodney Perry Live. That's my social media, all platforms. The website is rodneyperry.com. I'm an author. I'm a comedian. We do everything. You can pick the book up on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
What was the name of the book? It was shiny. I couldn't see it.
Oh, okay. It's Rodney Perry Moments on My Journey.
I see it. I see it.
Yes, sir.
I see it. Go ahead, Fig.
All social media platforms is Comedian Fig, baby. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Comedian Fig. Follow me.
Okay. And Stack, what about you?
Same here. Right here. Oh, what's that? Oh, there we go. Right there. At Stacking Over everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You name it, I'm on there. YouTube. Not a lot on YouTube, but yeah. Catch me.
It's been great having you guys up there. I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Oh, my Cash App is Rodney Perry too.
My Cash App Stacking Over too, by the way, guys. Just the $ instead of the at.
Mine is $ Comedian Fig. Real Fig.
Real Fig. So thank you guys for taking out to do the show. Tomorrow we got a guest. I don't know who the guest is just yet because we still locking them in. We got some surprises this coming up week too. Looking forward to that. This is the Humor Mill channel. Make sure you download the Humor Mill app. And make sure you check us out. Request us on any cable platform. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We're on every day on Eastern Standard Time between 1 and 2 o'clock. We have some live conversations. Tomorrow, Rodney's going to be back with I Disagree. Right, Rodney Perry?
Absolutely. Hey, Frank, what's the best way for people to see us? Facebook, Twitter, what do you think?
Facebook and Twitter. We're live both at the same time. I think it's live at the same time. So yeah, they can look at us either one. We there right now.
We got to start interacting with the fans and take some questions.
Yeah, I've seen some of the questions and some of them are just so stupid I don't even bother bringing them in. So
Oh, damn.
I didn't even bother. But with that being said, thanks you guys for taking out the time. We'll see y'all out there tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We'll see y'all same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes, sir.
Ooh,